Hey everyone, if you've ever tried to record a full 360-degree sound scene for VR or just wanted to capture a room with that immersive, lifelike feel, you know how frustrating it can be to end up with flat, one-dimensional audio that just doesn't match what you're seeing. It's like watching a movie with no depth to the sound, everything feels distant and disconnected. Well, I ran into that exact problem while trying to record a live band rehearsal for a VR project, and that's when I found the RDE Soundfield NT-SF1. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. This isn't your average microphone. It's actually 4 mics built into one unit, arranged in a tetrahedral pattern. That setup lets it capture sound from every direction, front, back, left, right, up, down all at once. So instead of hearing a band like they're all standing in a tiny box, you get the full spatial experience, like you're actually there in the room. I set it up in the middle of the rehearsal space, and the difference was night and day. The kick drum wasn't just a thud in the background, it had real presence. The vocals felt like they were coming from where the singer was standing. It was like the sound finally matched the visuals. One of the things that really surprised me was how easy it was to use. The kit comes with a 10-pin XLR to 4 separate 3-pin XLR cables, so you can plug it straight into any audio interface or recorder that has multiple inputs. I connected it to my Focusrite Scarlett 18i20, and within minutes I was capturing full 360 audio without any extra hassle. The included shock mount and pop shield also made a big difference. I was able to set it up on a stand without worrying about vibrations from the floor or plosives from the singers, which saved me a ton of cleanup time in post. I also tested it for podcasting in a home studio. Normally, I'd have to use multiple mics or rely on heavy editing to create a sense of space. But with the NT-SF1, I just placed it on my desk, and the recording naturally picked up the room tone and gave everything a more natural, open feel. It's not something I'd use for every podcast episode, but for special interviews or live streams where I want to give listeners a richer experience, it's perfect. Another cool feature is the included Ambisonic Processor Plugin. It lets you adjust the polar pattern after you've recorded, so if you decide you want more focus on the front or a wider soundstage, you can tweak it in post. I found that super helpful when I was editing a VR concert video. I could dial in exactly how much reverb or directionality I wanted without having to re-record anything. Now, it's not without its quirks. The mic is pretty large and heavy, so if you're traveling light or need something for field recording, it might be a bit much. Also, because it's capturing so much audio data, you'll need a decent interface and some storage space. But honestly, if you're serious about immersive audio, those trade-offs are worth it. Overall, the RDE Soundfield NT-SF1 changed the way I think about recording. It's not just a microphone, it's a tool that lets you capture real environments the way you hear them, with depth and dimension. Whether you're making VR content, recording live events, or just want your podcasts to sound more natural, this mic delivers. If you're curious and want to see the specs or grab one for yourself, the link is below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Soundfield by RDE NT-SF1 Premium Ambisonic VR microphone with location recording kit and Ambisonic Processor Plugin sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like Ambisonic condenser microphone with tetrahedral array of 4 and 10-pin XLR to 4x 3-pin XLR breakout mic cable actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Soundfield by RDE NT-SF1 Premium Ambisonic VR microphone with location recording kit and Ambisonic Processor Plugin usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.